Well, hello, my beautiful souls. This is Sherry at Soul Conscious Tarot, and I am back at doing readings after a bit of a hiatus. So, the way this is going to be a collective reading, and I'm going to use the hidden secrets. Looks like somebody is releasing this connection. I think I'm really feeling it's both people. I'm feeling there's some mirroring going on, that both people are releasing things, like letting go of things that have been getting in the way of the connection. We all tend to have these periods of time where we self-reflect and we're growing and changing. And when we're growing and changing, then there's like this period where we have to kind of catch up, like especially with friends, partners and stuff, to see when we've implemented those changes, or when we've undergone profound changes within ourselves. Now we're at a different frequency, we're at a different vibration, and because of that, then we have to kind of feel our way to see if, who's going to stay on that frequency with us. Do we need to move on to a new place, to new people, or are the people around us, are they going to, be fine and be able to coexist with our new frequency, as it may be. So I feel like many people are changing at this time, releasing things, changing within themselves, things that have been keeping them back, holding them back from living the life that they want. So I feel like that is where we are. There is chemistry between you and the person on your mind. I'm getting this as also with the sparks, that there could have been times when you and the person on your mind, got in these heated conversations. Maybe you went through a period of time where, you guys just weren't on the same page. And I think it's because, maybe them, both of you were undergoing changes in your life. And that tends to cause those sparks, those differences, as you grow into a new person, as those changes come into play. And, you have to kind of find your footing. You have to find your balance again in the connection when changes happen like that. So, yeah, I think you both got to a breaking point. I think that's why we saw the walking away card. So you guys kind of had to go in your respective corners to go into that kind of hermit mode and figure out who you were becoming, and who you were going to be going forward, and assess the situation and determine who, is this relationship going to endure after these changes are implemented within me? Is this after, you've reflected and changed and looked at this, looked at the situation, looked at the person and said, is this somebody I still want to be with? Is this person still fitting in my ideal of where I'm going in my life, or where I want to go in my life? So this is going to be our overall energy right here for the reading. Yeah, emotional storm. Yeah, that's what I said. I really feel like I'm getting affected. You both were affected by this connection in a profound way. And I think it's just because there's been a lot of stuff going on astrologically. I'm not an astrologer myself, but I follow many great astrologers out there that do it justice far better than I ever would, and I appreciate their insight. And so I know right now planetarily we have been undergoing things. We've been undergoing, try and get that back into focus there. We've been undergoing these changes within our lives, as I said. And so, and I think everybody's stuff is coming to the surface. It's bubbling to the surface within us. Things are wanting to be healed at this time. And that it ultimately changes who we are. It's not only changing you, but it's changing them. It's changing the people around you. And so whoever this is on your mind, whoever you're coming, whoever's coming to the table for this reading that wants to talk to you, they're saying, yes, we've been going through some stuff. I've been going through some stuff. You've been going through some stuff. Let's have this talk and see if we can get on the same page. So let's see what we have. Yeah, you're both holding back, or sorry, Four of Wands. I think that you both essentially want this, but sometimes people grow apart. It happens. When we change, we have to reassess. Relationships are always a matter of having to constantly reassess and refocus as we go through things in our lives. If you think about long-term partnerships and marriages and things like that, you have to be able to endure and roll with those changes and understand that this is somebody that you can work with, or know that it's somebody that you can work with to implement any changes that might occur. Say one of you or your partner lose their job. That's a huge change that you both have to undergo. It affects both of your lives. And so can you work together? Can you work through those stressful periods? Is the person that's, coming to the table, or that you're thinking about on your mind, that's the things you both are reflecting on. Is this someone I can work with when the going gets tough? When, can we work together? Can we work through these very trying times? Oh, the camera is wanting to be very unfocusy today. Yeah, unfocusy. I doubt that's a word, but we're going to go with it. So we had the Queen of Wands. Now, there's definitely attraction between you. We saw the I'm going to take this because the Page of Swords wanted to come out with that Queen of Wands. It was right underneath it. And they both flipped over together. So it's really like there is this strong desire, and there is this strong not only a strong desire and passion towards you, which we saw with the chemistry card that popped out at the beginning, but it's also this strong, this need to communicate and to talk, like a strong desire, a strong passion or desire to talk through things. And I think that both of you want to do this, but I don't think that you've done it yet. I don't think you and your person have had this conversation yet. I just think that it's both on both of your minds that we need to sit down and talk about some things here. If this is going to move forward into something long lasting. We have the Eight of Swords. Yeah, and this just goes back, to the fact that you're both within, both have been going within, tossing and turning things over in your mind. You're both playing things over in your mind. There's these changes. I mean, whenever we're changing, we always are up in our mind. That's when we're making head over heart decisions, because we have to be practical. And so it's looking at things practically and saying, there's definitely that concern about the connection. Can we hold this together? Can we endure or continue this relationship on the backside of these changes that we're going through? And the changes can be anything. It doesn't have to necessarily be internal. It could be, as I said, like, maybe there's just been a big life event. Maybe somebody has passed away in one or your or their family, and it's affecting them on an emotional level, or a job has, somebody's lost a job, or maybe you guys had to move, or maybe move away even from each other. And how do you make the connection work after that point? So then we have the Ten of Cups, but there is this desire, there's this, this dreamy energy of the Ten of Cups, of wanting to, seeing, you both want to be in each other's lives. This is where it's more you're almost dreaming, manifesting, thinking about, hey, this is the person I really would like to be with. How can we make that happen? It's really playing those scenarios, those pictures in your head, especially with the Eight of Swords here, playing those pictures in the head of how can we make that work, going over and over all the scenarios of how can we make this work. Let's, so you're both in your minds right now, trying to figure out, when we have this conversation, what needs to be said? What do I need to say? What do I need to bring to the table when we have this conversation, to try and make sure we can be on, that my needs are met, my my needs are met, that we can then, you know, sorry, the card fell on the floor and it completely distracted me. And so that almost tells me, you know, there might be some distractions going on in both of your life right now, especially if there has been a big major upheaval. That could take the focus off of the relationship. And this relationship dynamic does not have to be romantic in nature. It can be any dynamic. It's whoever is wanting to come through and speak to you, my collectives, at this time. And mostly, usually, it's the person on your mind, but it does not always have to be. It's whoever, you know, wants to speak to you. So with the Ten of Wands, it's showing me, with that coming, clarifying the Four of Wands, that's telling me that it's been very difficult at this time to continue to make this relationship work. We saw that the chemistry card, which I was saying, I felt like there was sparks flying, as far as like there's probably been some heated exchanges in the recent past, and I think it has to do with changes that you're both undergoing at this time, the growing pains. I really feel like it's just growing pains as you're both evolving and changing, and it's difficult to make that relationship work, to find, it's like we have to almost, it's almost like that tower, like a tower moment when the tower falls, and now it's like picking up the pieces. I see this Ten of Wands as, you know, like your bundle of sticks that you've had on your back has fallen to the ground, and now you're trying to pick them all up and get them bundled back up again, and so that you can move back forward on your way. That's the way I'm seeing this. See, look at this, Six of Cups coming under Queen of Wands. You know, I really feel like, you know, there is this strong connection. I feel like that there is this nostalgia going on. I saw that with the Eight of Swords and the Ten of Cups, that you're both, you know, really thinking about, how can we make this, how can we keep this in our lives? What, you know, what are my needs? What are their needs? You know, but the discussion still, I like how this is almost, this Page of Swords is almost falling at the center of the spread here. It's almost like it's wanting to be like right at the center of the spread. It's like there's this discussion that needs to happen. You both need to kind of speak your truth here. You both have stuff that you want to say to the other person, but that talk hasn't happened yet. And so as long as that talk doesn't happen, you're going to be stuck. You're both going to be stuck in your mind, replaying things over and over, the what ifs. What if, you know, and so there's really this strong indication that there needs to be, you're at this point where if you want something to happen, you guys need to come to the table and have a discussion. You need to have a strong discussion around this. The Seven of Pentacles, yeah, you need to invest in this. You need to find a way forward where you both can invest in this. This is really bugging me. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit, I have a little bit of OCD. So it's not major, don't worry. But I do like to have everything in its place. I don't like things being out of order to a degree. Okay, so let's get one more card. Clarify this Ten of Cups for me. What's going on with this Ten of Cups? And I see this is, sorry, that Eight of Swords, I just wanted to say with that Seven of Pentacles, with it clarifying that Eight of Swords is it is like, how do I invest going forward? What, you know, again, it's playing that over in your mind. It's thinking practically about, you know, the practicality. How can we make this work? How can I invest in this going forward? Especially like if there's distance, like if you guys have moved, somebody has moved and you're farther away. How do I invest in this? How are we going to connect? How are we going to spend time together? How are we going to grow this? You know, it's those questions that are playing in you guys' mind, but it's like you haven't sat down at the table and actually talked it out to find out, okay, how can we make this work? You're just both guesstimating. You're both just ruminating. That's a good word. You're both ruminating on this. So give me a clarification on this Ten of Cups, please. The Sun. See, I feel like you both want to be in each other's lives. I mean, there's no doubt about that. It's just figuring out the logistics. So that's what it's saying. You need to have that's why I love the Page of Swords. It's kind of just saying, hey, I'm the center of the deck. This is what, you know, this is my role. I'm here to say that a talk needs to happen. Y'all need to get your stuff on the table and talk this through, because as long as you guys just sit there and keep playing things over in your mind, nothing's actually nothing's actually happening. You're not actually investing in making this move forward, as long as you're not talking, as long as you're not voicing what you need to voice, as long as you guys aren't trying to work this, figure out how do we move forward, and actually having that discussion. And I think that's what's causing this emotional storm. I like that it's actually the overall energy, because I feel like you both are in this, like, where you're tossing and turning, like, how do we, are we going to stay together? Are we not? So I think that's what's causing the turmoil right here for both of you and the other person is how do we get unstuck? How do we get, Eight of Swords is about being stuck. It's how do we get unstuck? How do we get out of our head? How do we make this tangible? How do we get out of this wanting it to happen, but making it practical and making it happen? So what I have here, and I'm not sure how I want to do this. Actually, I'm going to set this right here. If you want to pause the video, I have this deck. It's called the Split Decisions, Yes, No. So what I want you to do is I want you to think of a question. I wasn't planning on this, but this deck wanted to come out, so I don't know how it's going to turn out. But think about a question that you have about the person on your mind, or anything else. Anything that you want a yes or no answer to, and then I'll get two cards out of here. And we'll see. I'm being told to, so we'll get two cards and we'll see what that is. So be thinking about your question, and we'll see what comes through here for you today. And if you end up liking me using this at the end, the split decisions, and doing the question, let me know down in the comments. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't liked this video, I hope that you will. And I appreciate all of you, and thank you for all of those that stayed with me through the many changes that I underwent during my last 6 months as I traveled abroad. I tried to do readings as long as I could, but it got way too difficult. I was trying to do way too much with trying to do the readings with all the moving around and going here and there, and I couldn't keep up. And then I've had a lot of changes going on since I've been back. So I'm finally in a place where I can kind of start getting back into things, which is awesome. So here we go. So we have a yes. The answer is it's the icing on the cake and the sprinkles too. I love that. So whatever question that you had, it's a yes, and saying yes, you're going to get that and maybe more than you probably imagined. Okay. It's that's a definite yes. So one more card. Yes, again, trust your feelings, fulfill your heart's desire. So it's a definite yes. Go for whatever you were thinking about on your mind, whatever that question was. It's definitely, I see this as these two cards coming out saying, yes, it's there and you can get more than you were even hoping for, but you have to trust yourself and you have to put the effort into it. Whatever that was, whatever that you were desiring, whatever that the question was, because obviously if you're asking yes or no, you're wanting to know if something's going to happen or not. So it's saying yes, it will, but you have to trust yourself and you have to put the effort toward making it happen. It's not just going to drop on your plate. So what do you need to do? Trust your heart and making that decision, making the decisions that you need to bring this into fruition. And as you do that, it's going to align with you and it's going to come into fruition for you. So that's what I have. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I'm going to probably be doing these style of readings going forward, and just collective readings on this channel. I haven't figured out, I have another channel that I had started before just a few weeks ago to kind of test it out, and I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing there yet. So stay tuned for that. But this channel, I'm just going to do collective readings from now going forward, these type of readings. So hopefully you like this style and you'll stay with me. And thank you again for all those dedicated, wonderful souls that have been patient with me and are still subscribed to the channel. I love you all. Thank you so much. Much harmony and gratitude to you, my lovely friends.